design is a process in which we use typography, images, colors, icons, and other illustrations to communicate visually. There are 5 elements to graphic design. The first one is lines. A line is a kind of shape which connects two or more joints. Lines can be thick, thin, curved, or jagged. The next one is shapes. There are 2 major categories of shapes in design. Geometric. These are regular and mathematical shapes. And organic. These are free-form shapes. The next one is form. A form is a 3-dimensional shape. Shadows, perspective, depth, and sometimes textures creates a form. Here is an example to differentiate a form to a shape. The next one is texture. Texture refers to the physical quality of the surface of an object in an artwork or design. It can be in 3D or real texture or 2D visual texture. Here's an example of real texture and visual texture. And the last one is balance. There are 2 types of visual balance. The first one is symmetrical balance, and the second one is asymmetrical balance.
Branding is simply what people think about you, your company, your product, or your service. For example, we think of Albert Einstein as an epitome of intelligence, and that is how he was branded. Identity or visual identity is the visual representation of a brand. For example, we quickly recognize the company and its service just for looking at its logo. Typeface or color combination. 1. Establish clear purpose and positioning. 2. Conduct your market research. 3. Get a personality. 4. Create a polished logo. 5. Create an interactive color palette. 6. Select professional typography when selecting fonts. It is important to consider these things. A. Do not make it fancy. B. Do not mix fonts or typefaces in a word or sentence. C. Mix contrasting fonts, typefaces. 7. Choose on brand supporting graphics.
Layout and composition focus on the arrangement of your object or element on your design. There are 5 basic principles of layout and composition. First, proximity. Proximity is the process of placing related elements together. For example, block text or graphics that are related should be grouped together to make your design easier to understand. Second, white space. White space is a negative space between lines, paragraphs, and elements on the design. There are 2 types of white space. First, micro white space. Micro white space is a mini space between paragraph, lines, menu, items, or other elements in a design composition. Second, macro white space. Macro white space is a large space between contents and elements. Alignment. Alignment helps design to organize different elements in their composition. Alignment may be left, centered, right, or justified. Contrast. Contrast means one element is opposite to other elements. For example, if you use dark color for your background, you should use light color for your foreground. And lastly, repetition. Repetition simply means to use the same type, face color, palette, or other elements. Example, if you create a PowerPoint presentation, you should use only the same color palette or textile in all of your slides.
Typography. Typography is the art of arranging text that makes it readable and appealing to the viewer. Font refers to the variation of weights of a typeface, while typeface refers to the text style. For example, Arial Narrow, Arial Black, and Arial Rounded are fonts under the Arial typeface. Fonts can be categorized into 3. The first one is serif. Serif fonts are fonts that have little strokes called serif on each end of the letter. Examples of typefaces with serifs are Times New Roman, Baskerville Old Face, and Californian FB. The second one is sans serif. Sans serif are fonts with no extra strokes. Sans serif simply means without serifs. Examples of this type are Calibri, Arial, and Roboto. And the third one is display. Display fonts are sometimes called as fancy or decorative fonts. Examples of display fonts are advertising script, banners, and Forte.
Colors are very essential to your compositions. One may use a combination or one or more colors. Color schemes. We have primary colors, the secondary colors, and tertiary colors. A circular diagram of these colors is called a color wheel. Monochromatic color scheme. This color scheme only focuses on one color. For example, if you choose the color blue, then you may have other colors under the same color family like sky blue, baby blue, navy blue, or dark blue. Achromatic color schemes. This color scheme only revolves on using desaturated colors like black, gray, and white. Analogous color scheme. Analogous color scheme selects a group of three colors that are adjacent in the color wheel, just like blue, blue-green, and green. Complementary color scheme. These are colors that are direct opposite to each other in the color wheel. Split complementary color scheme. Split complementary color scheme uses the colors on both sides of the opposite color. Triadic color schemes. This color scheme uses colors that form an equilateral triangle. Tetradic color scheme, also known as double complementary. This color scheme uses two pairs of complementary colors.
So images are not just limited to photographs. It also includes graphic and other illustrations. Having images on your composition make it appealing to the eyes of your viewers. For example, imagine if you are reading a magazine without an images. It was boring, right? And you don't want to read it. So that is the power of image. There are different file types of images that group into two categories, which is the vector and raster. So what is vector? Vector is a type of images that does not lose its quality when in zoom in, while the raster opposite the vector. Raster images become pixelated when enlarged.